The Maverick is saying, shouldn't we encourage people to be tolerant, like extremist religions, and also to be respectful, like blasphemers? Um,
What? No.
well, he's saying, should we do both things? Like, should we say, okay, hey, listen, religious guys, don't chop off people's heads for drawing cartoons, and people who are drawing cartoons, try to be respectful to the religion. He's saying, can we
N-
do both?
no, no, because it's missing the entire point. We could teach religious extremists to be disrespectful to us as an alternative to them to spilling our blood over their street. Like we could show them like, look, we welcome you being disrespectful to us, because if we want them to be, if the okay, so this is like a threat. This is like, hey, as if they equating the two with each other, like as
Yeah.
it just this sounds to me like you were justifying the spilling of blood because you're disrespectful. So I don't yeah, this is to me like, saying like, hey, we will stop the intolerance the moment you are respectful to our ideas. And I'm
Okay.
like, no, go fuck yourselves. We're gonna be as we do not if if your tolerance comes at the expense of us being respectful to your ideas, that's not a negotiation. That's a surrender. That's a submission to your ideas and your values.
Right.
You don't. How about this? How about you go fuck yourselves, and we get to say whatever we want, and you don't spill our blood. How about try responding to us the same way we're responding to you? How about be disrespectful to us? Just try that instead. But go on, Ellie.
Yeah, so I want to give an analogy to show how absurd this idea is. Okay, and it is. I know the problem is it sounds really good. Hey, dude, be one side, be respectful, the other side, be tolerant. This is how absurd it is. It's like telling someone, hey, how about rapists just stop raping? But then, the women who get raped, you wear a hijab once in a while. When you're walking in front of a man, just cover
Mm.
yourself up, right? Wear decent clothes. Don't try to entice them. Both sides can do this. The rapist can, try not to rape, and then you can also help not get them to rape. It's an absolutely
Mm.
absurd idea to
It.
to um, to make an equivalence over here. Remember, when what blasphemers are doing is drawing cartoons, right?
Mm.
They're writing things, they're doing podcasts, they're saying things. What the extremist religions are doing are they're beheading people in broad daylight in the middle of the street in front of a school. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. Those are the two things they're dealing with. This is not equal at any at any level whatsoever. It just isn't.
Right. I
So
mean, another analogy would be, imagine if my like your wife was disrespectful to you, and she didn't like, she swore at you, or she said something very disrespectful to you, and then as a response you started beating the crap out of her, right? You give her some bruises, and then you go, and then she goes and complains to a judge or something, and the judge is like, okay, I have a solution. How about the husband stops beating the wife, but also maybe the wife should also adjust her tone. Maybe you should be a little bit more polite to your husband. I was like, no, I think the judge and everybody else should join the wife at fucking being disrespectful to this husband. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, are you serious? Like, oh, you're both siding it. Oh, I think both sides were wrong. Oh yeah, wife was disrespectful and she used a swear
both
word, but
predators.
also the husband was like beating the crap. I guess both were at fault here. No, fuck that shit. Anyway, sorry, I'm
I
swearing.
think yeah, I think we've the Maverick is saying. Do you not think you are alienating the moderate religious adherents by purposely intending to offend their beliefs? Isn't the end result counterproductive?
Let me tell you, if their moderates think that it's justified, that they get to tell us that we don't, they get to demand that we don't insult their ideas, then they're not moderates. They're not moderates. They're radicals, right? They're extremists. If they think that freedom of speech and expression ends when their fifis are hurt, then sorry, you don't get to call yourself a moderate. And and we need to teach them a lesson that they don't get to make demands to us. But Ali, what do you think?
I agree with you. Like I don't think I think that it's just yeah. You have to look. We're writing books. We are tweeting. We're making cartoons, and we're doing podcasts.
Mm.
Okay, and we're doing it for a book. that tells us we should burn forever, that tells us we should be killed, that tells us that we have gone astray, that tells us that we are the scum of the earth, right? And we should be treated that we're a different status. Who should really be offended here? Who should be the one going out and like if you go talking about chopping heads, who's the person who should be doing it? But we're not. We're just doing podcasts and drawing cartoons and writing books. That's it. That's
Right.
it. Like they are not the ones who need to be offended here. They have God on their side. They have a supernatural, like all-knowing, all-powerful thing, and a long dead prophet who is the 1.6 billion people adhering to it, loads and loads of governments. That's what they have.
Right.
We just have pens, and that kind of shows you the power. There's a bunch of us, a few people with pens. I mean, your prophet, your God is such a pussy that he can't even deal with a bunch of people with pens and paintbrushes.
And by the way, we are not alienating. I think strategically, we're getting more people, even from religious people on our side. We're getting Hindus that tell us, you know what, I don't like your cartoons, but I support your right. We're getting Muslims. We're actually introducing this what freedom of expression actually means to more Muslims and Hindus, right? We do, and we're gonna celebrate them, and we're gonna highlight them. Muslim, Hindu, Christian, whatever. If you come and see, especially when we defend their rights, right? When we defend their rights to say whatever they want, and we're being consistent with that, right? So we do get allies from them as well. So we're not alienating them. I mean, if we are alienating people who are wanting to take a position against freedom of expression, then that's the cost that we're willing to pay because fuck
Yeah,
them.
if your prophet can't deal with a cartoon, he's not a real prophet.
No, whatever. I mean, there's no real prophets, but okay.
The Maverick.
I'm going to respond to this saying, what are your views on Buddhism and Sikhism, and why are you so cautious in speaking about Judaism? First of all, fuck Judaism, fuck Buddhism, and fuck Sikhism. We've been calling all of these out all the time.
We're anti-theists. Yeah, like
Right.
religions are. Yeah.
No, yeah, fuck Judaism up the ass. So, Judaism is a barbaric, backward, dangerous ideology that needs to be eliminated. So there you go. We're not very cautious. There's certain keywords that people think that if we say them that we being anti-Semitic or something like that. So we're being strategic, trying not to get eliminated from.
We're not talking about Jews. We're talking
Yeah,
about the book.
we're talking about the ideas, okay? We're talking about dangerous ideas, and obviously Judaism is one of the worst ideas out there, okay?
Killing gay
And
people, killing blasphemers, the same stuff as Islam. Islam was plagiarized from Judaism. It's the same stuff.
yeah, it's in yeah. So it is barbaric. It is violent, and we do not. We're not. What we are cautious about is not losing our platform. We think it's moronic that these platforms have these rules for us to use certain keywords, and all of a sudden we get completely removed from these platforms. We don't endorse it. We're against it. But obviously, it's stupid of us not to consider them for us to be able to do our activism. Like it's one thing to stand your ground and fight back. It's another thing to completely eliminate yourself and making yourself completely unable to spread your values. Okay, so those are two different things. We're just being strategic. But once we know what the rules are, we still try to we still say the things that we need to say. Try to play around the algorithm or whatever the things that could get us the platform. Whatever, when we figure out what it is, how could we say the things we want to say without getting removed? We do say it, right? We don't. I have so many programs against Judaism on Atheist Republic. I went to Israel. I went to talk. I went and talked. I have interviews with atheists and secular activists against Judaism in Israel. I've been on the ground and made documentaries about that. So fuck you for even suggesting that.